Hi, welcome back to my tag a day challenge, day 8. So these are the tags that I'm going to make today. These are made out of junk mail. So if you guys want to make along, all you need is junk mail that looks like this. So all of these tags are made out of, stuff like this that you get in the mail that you think sometimes, I know we love to collect envelopes, and this is a really cool patterned envelope, but this is what these tags are made out of, that and one of these sort of more thick sales flyers. So all these things, like this came from Habitat for Humanity. I would take the letter and I would cut it up and I would make pieces for a tag. I save the envelopes for other things. That we'll do on another time. But so if you have any of this sort of junk mail that you get, you're thinking, I'm just going to throw it away. Especially the part that's, the envelopes we all know what to do with, but it's this part, right? The part where this one says it looks like some entry for something. This is what I cut up to make the tag. So I've already done that. And I'm going to move these tags that I've worked on, which have been fun. So you need that. You need some magazine pages. You need paint, stencils if you want to use a stencil, book pages if you feel like using book pages. So I've just cut up magazine pages, and this is I just wanted you to see. They weren't particularly beautiful magazine pages, but I used a 1-inch hole punch and punched holes. Or flowers. So all these bits and pieces, brown paper bag, different things like that. You can use painty papers or not necessary if you don't want to. So the first thing you need to do is we need to paint our junk mail. And you can paint it, you have a choice. You can use a credit card, a jelly plate, a paintbrush. It doesn't really matter, okay? And I don't try to completely cover the junk mail, but that's up to you and whatever you want to do. If you want to cover it completely, that's fine. I just find that with the really thin mail, it's not necessary really. So, and I just paint one side of the thin letters. I have friends that save me their junk mail, and I love it. But sometimes, after a while, you're just like, oh, you start becoming like a junk mail, or at least I become a junk mail connoisseur. I can't speak for all of you. This way, I'm using more of my junk mail. So I'm going to let's just work on a few. Now, I did take mine to the sewing machine, and I don't necessarily consider these complete pieces of art, but what I do consider it is like a starting point. So if you'd like to have more stuff in your stash or create a stash for yourself, that maybe you want to include some of this in Happy Mail or in junk journals, or you can use it as part of your scrapbooking layouts. Smash booking, scrapbooking, no rules. So when I do the thicker junk mail, I do paint both sides, because the other ones I'm going to glue together. This one, the thicker, more postcard thickness junk mail, I paint the front and the back. Use what you want. If you want a jelly print, do it. If you want to, I like the contrast. I like leaving some contrast to have. And let me get my big heat gun here. I hope you guys are enjoying making small art. That was the whole point of this tag a day challenge, is just to make small art. I just happen to enjoy making tags because I do make a lot of journals and stuff like that. But if you don't want to make a tag, make what works for you. It was really just about spending at least 15 minutes a day making art. This one looks like it needs a tiny bit more. Hope you guys are all doing good. I am still in the midst of my craft room reorganization for the 9,000th time. And hopefully I'm hoping to get it done by the first or second week of the new year. If I can't, I would like to get it done before then, but I think that you know how the holidays go. Sometimes you have the best intentions, but you don't quite get it all done. Okay, I'm gonna let these dry, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna work on the ones I've already painted. Now, what you want to do is you need a glue stick, or what I used was a glue stick, but you do yours any way you want. Now, I'm just adding a permanent glue stick because if I decide I want to paint on it later, I don't want them to come apart. So I'm just going to glue stick one side on the non-painted side. And then I'm going to I'm going to put non-painted side to non-painted side of my junk mail letter. It doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. It does not have to be perfect. Just using the back end of a gift card to just make sure that there's no bubbles in it. You don't have to sew yours if you don't. I just have my sewing machine out because I'm in the process of making a handbag for a holiday gift, and I had my sewing machine out and I thought, you know what? I like sewing. I really enjoy sewing on paper. I will tell you that you need a dull needle, or a ball needle as somebody suggested, but I have, if you sew light, I'm sure you have a few dull needles. Keep your dull needles, they come in handy. They come in handy. So this one's not perfect at all. I could go back and use a hole punch if I want the hole to be more perfect. It's kind of really off. Maybe add some more glue to it too. I get some cool junk mail. My friends save me junk mail. So, you know, I never know what I'm going to get. And then randomly, all of a sudden, a very large bag or box of junk mail will appear at my home. So, sorry guys, my phone's on the other side of the room, and you know, this is how my days roll some days. At least the dog's not barking, right? So, it's all good. Sorry. Okay, so the next step is the stamping, the layering, the painting, whatever you want to do. See, for these I added some gold metallic paint. This was other junk mail. I was working on the junk mail postcards, but it's up to you. Right now I'm kind of into this hot pink metallic, but you use what you want. I've been also using these Tim Holtz. I'm enjoying this. I think this is the burlap stencil. But you use what works for you. And what's kind of fun is that you can do it all at the same time. So I have been enjoying using the Deco Arts Neon Paint. It's pink. Americana Multi-Surface Neon. And I'm using a kitchen sponge. If you guys watch my paint a wrapping paper thing on Friday, I have all the bits and pieces from making my wrapping paper stamps. So I save it. I try to use as much as I can. But I'm really digging this bright neons, this neon pink. To me, it's just really fun. Okay, so that's got a little neon pink on it, and then maybe I'll add I don't know what I have close by. Well, I know I have this metallic gold, so maybe I'll add that too. I think what's been so fun for me is just trying to, I don't know if you guys made any resolutions, but my resolution has been to use my stash, like to really use up what I have. And I think it's been sort of fun trying to find new purposes for my junk mail. And it's also been really fun for me to focus on making small art. So here's one set. Maybe Maybe I'll do a couple of these. And I think this is probably dry too. So I'm gonna let those dry. Maybe I'll do some red on this. I'm using the least expensive paint possible. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm using like some fancy paints. I'm not. I have a thing for just using what anyone can find. Sometimes for myself, I love watching other people's creative process, but sometimes the art supplies that are there they're just not within my means, or where I live, you just can't get it. So it's kind of fun to, to just use what everybody can get. To just use what is right there. No, I didn't bring my brayer over here, but I'm going to use, I alter a lot of books, so I'm just going to, this will make some sort of great background for a painty paper at some point. And yes, I do clean my stencils, but I usually soak them in a tub of water. And when they get too yucky, I don't do it all the time. Bad crafter, right? Bad crafter, bad crafter. Okay, so I've got these to work with. You guys get the general idea. I'll leave those for another time. Okay, so now I'm just going to decide like what I'm going to put. Am I going to, these are just some layers, right? Brown bag layers. These are some, brown bag layer. Now, if you are going to take them to your sewing machine, you definitely just want to tack them down with a little bit of glue. And if you're not going to sew them down, I just am going to tack them with glue because I am going to go to my sewing machine. But if you are going to do something more, if you're not going to use a sewing machine, you may want to glue it all the way down. I'm going to let this one dry. It's got wet paint on it. And let's see. Let's take some magazine pieces. So that one's kind of cool. Here's some bright orange ones. Maybe it's too close to that color palette. Maybe I'll use it on one of these for more contrast. Have you guys ever made garland? I have made, I've made magazine page garland where you cut, where you take a little hole punch and you And you sew a bunch of them together. Has anybody else done that? It's pretty fun. Anyway, so there's 2 to begin with that need to dry. Then I have a couple of more here. Oh, you know, it was kind of cool though. Let me see if I can find it. Here's some painty papers that I did. Here's some painty papers that I did, I don't know, a while back. And with this hole punch, you can kind of see where you like the image and punch it out. Get some really cool bits and pieces for your artwork, right? This was just book pages. They were actually fragile book pages that I glued. I think the top. I think they were all fragile book pages. So no right or wrong. You can't with painty papers. Painty papers are one of my favorite things, and with painty papers you can't go wrong. At least in my world, I feel like you can't go wrong. So maybe I'll decide which painty papers that I want to use. Maybe the green ones on that. And let's see, maybe the gold one. And this bright hot pink one on here. Or maybe I'll put the gold one on that and the green and the hot pink on here. Did you guys get the idea, yeah? Like fun. There's no right or wrong. You can do it your way. I think 2's good for right now. I brought some stamps and stuff too. I don't know if I'm going to do it on these, but since I've already gotten a stash of these going, since I already got a stash going on here, it'll be fun. So you get the general idea, right? So, start making yourself components to your little, for your Tag-A-Day series. Make yourself some, if you can't get it together to finish the whole thing, which for me I can't. I'm always like a work in progress. But okay, so these are the few that we just did just a little bit on now, right? These, they need to dry. And then here's some that I have been working on. This is just some painted paper that I tore. Here's some more with that stamp. So let me see. I brought some stamps over here. Let's see, what do I have? I have this Brilliance pink. Let's see how this looks. I think it's kind of cool. Maybe I'll do some up on this one. You can create a stash in no time, in absolutely no time. In no time. Creating a stash. Right? Just kind of fun and random. I have some number stamps here. I was looking for some number stamps, and the only ones I could find at the moment, of course, when you're not looking for it, you can find You can find everything. And these I have used several times. And I did, yes, manage to put them back into the package. But, which I don't know about you guys, but I don't always do it well. These are some Bo Bunny stamps. And it has some writing and some numbers. And I love the number 2. So put that on there. Let's just see. Let me see. I have a black stamp pad. So kind of random, right? But kind of fun. Random and fun. Oh, that one's too dark. Oh well, we'll have to, maybe I can, let's see. I have to paint over it. I think this one might need a number 2 on it. Yeah, that one came out good. But you get the idea. Get out those stamps that you haven't used in a while. Get out the kind of cool stuff that you have and use it. This is like some, I think, musical notes. Let's see. What am I going to put on it? Let's see. I have this orange stave on. Let's see what this looks like. The randomness of it. Some metallic orange stamping. If you don't like it, go back and paint over it. It's not the end of the world, you know? These are just little tags that you've made, just creating art in 15 minutes. Let's see, maybe I'll put some on here, on the flowers. Yeah, I like it better there. But you guys get the idea. So I don't think I'm done with my tags by any means, but I definitely have a lot to work with. And, you know, have fun. Get your junk mail out. Start making some tags. Get your punches out. Start using them. If you don't like it, paint over it. If you don't like it, you know, it's nothing, no big loss. It's just junk mail. Like, no big loss. Like, I'm not crazy about the way that looks there, so I'll take that part out. You know, I'm not, you know, just, it's not, you can fix it. It's not like it's the end of the world, or it's not like, oh, well, that was really, I can throw it away. You can always cut these up into elements for things that you would use at another time. So today's tag a day was, oh, here's the one I wanted to fix. Today's tag a day was making small art out of junk mail. And I think I may work on these a little bit longer. I don't know. Anyway, as always, from my heart to your heart, I'm sending you so much aloha. Take care.